Let's continue with the fourth chapter from your economics book of grade 10, and the name of the chapter is Capital. So today we are going to start from capital formation. By capital formation we mean the creation of capital. Theoretically we can say a change in the stock of capital is an economy during any particular time period is called capital formation. So we can say that capital formation is the change in the stock in any economy during a particular time. Okay, it's called capital formation. For example, roads, bridges, dams, etc. are called social capital. Continuous use of capital leads to its depreciation. What is the meaning of depreciation? Depreciation means we are continuously using the capital, for that the capital is getting worn out. Suppose we are using a machine, continuously we are using a machine. So after a certain point of time you will find that the machine's few parts have got worn out. We need to change few parts, or even the machine can entirely get damaged and we have to replace the machine. So that is depreciation. Some expenditure is needed to keep the productive capacity of capital intact. This is called depreciation cost. If total investment in any country is more than the depreciation cost, then there will be capital formation. If the investment in any country is more, investment is more than the depreciation cost, then there will be capital formation. In other words, we can say that capital formation takes place through such a net investment, that means total investment here, net investment in any country during any particular time period. So net investment is equal to total investment minus depreciation. Okay, so net investment is equal to total investment minus depreciation, and this net investment helps us in capital formation. And this net investment of not many years, they are calculating for a particular time. Basically it is calculated every year, for 1 year. Factors determining capital formation. Personal savings. The main factor that determines capital formation is in a country is personal savings. What are we saving, right? By personal saving we mean the difference between personal income and personal consumption. That means how much we are earning and how much we are spending. We have to just subtract it. The amount left with us is the capital, is helping us to form the capital. Saving or savings, you can understand saving is for 1 year and savings are for many previous years they are talking about. Corporate saving. Companies also engage themselves in savings. A part of the profit is retained, means stored or kept aside by them for the purpose of investment, that is for the purchase of capital goods. This retained profits are called corporate savings. So the entire profit the company is earning is not spending all, they are also keeping aside some amount of savings. This is called corporate savings. Profits of public sector enterprises. In a mixed economy, public sector enterprises constitute an important form of business organization. Since they are owned by the government, all the profits of these enterprises can be used as capital formation. The government is not here to maximize its profit, right? It is for the welfare of the citizen. So whatever profit they are earning from one sector can directly become the capital and get invested in some other sector for the development of the nation. Fourth point, government's share is government's share in the profits of joint sector enterprise. In joint sector enterprise, the government holds a part of the shares. The rest are held by the individuals or private sector companies. So joint means where the government will have certain amount of share, along with it some person or a private sector will also be joined together. In these cases, the dividends earned by the government can act as a source of domestic capital formation. Okay, so whatever is earned by the government in the joint sector, that is once again becoming the capital formation. Then financial institute. For capital formation, however, savings by itself is not sufficient. The saving must be transferred into investments. Okay, for capital formation, I'm saving, I'm keeping it with myself in my maybe in my bag, maybe in my almirah, in my home. That is not investment, that is not helping me in capital formation. This capital have to get invested. Okay, invested it has to get transformed process in the bank or other financial institutions play an important part. Okay, so we have to keep it as a saving, not in home but in banks. That will help us in capital formation. Bank and other financial institutions can provide such as loan out to the deposit kept with them by the public. Monetary policy means the policies which are undertaken by the government, those are called monetary policies. The government or the economic policies pursued by the government also constitute an important factor affecting capital formation in the country. While these policies by themselves do not act as a source of capital formation, they act as the factors affecting the sources. Okay, if the government is applying more and more of taxes on a company, then they will not be able to form the capital as such, so they will not start producing anymore, right? Contraction in money supply usually rises the interest rates. As increase in money supply, it decreases interest rates and reduces savings. Point number 7, income tax policies. Okay, for instance, by exempting from the income taxation that part of income which is saved. Okay, so some exceptions can also be allowed for the corporate houses, as in paying corporate income taxes for encouraging corporate savings in the investment. So if the companies are allowed to pay certain less amount of income, then we will find that the capital formation is increasing, because the companies will try to produce more and more, as because they have to pay less amount of income tax. But if the company finds that they are earning more and they have to pay more amount of money for the tax, then they won't feel very easy to give it away like that, so they will start producing less. Commodity taxation, that means tax applied on different kind of commodities we are using. If items of consumption, special items, or you can say luxurious items, are subjected to high rates of sales tax, this will raise the price of the consumption good, right? This will reduce consumption in the country. Naturally, savings will increase if income remains unchanged. Okay, so if the consumption of the luxurious item is restricted, we will find the savings of the people is increasing, and with the increase in the savings, we will find that the capital formation is also increasing. Deficit budget. The government often comes forward with huge investment to build large public sector projects. The government spends more than it earns by way of taxes, loans, etc. Usually, the deficit is financed by increase in money supply. For example, by printing of notes. When the government comes forward to make any kind of project and is not having abundant amount of money, then they start printing notes and then they start distributing it. Okay, that is deficit budget, because they are not having that much of money with them. Inflation. The financing of a budget deficit by printing new notes often leads to inflation. So if they start printing random notes, if the government start printing random notes, it will lead to inflation. What is that inflation? It should be noted, however, that inflation itself is one of the ways in which savings can be promoted. What is inflation? The rising price level forces people to cut down on consumption. This leads to an increase in saving. Hence, people are forced by inflation to increase the rate of saving. It is said that inflation leads to forced saving or forced saving. This particular effect of inflation is not really very effective, since even if savings increases in money terms, inflation means the decrease in the real value of savings, and it is not clear whether the net effect on capital formation is positive or negative. That means the value of the money is decreasing. Though we are having the flow of the money in our hand, the increase of the flow of the money is increasing. Okay, everybody is having the flow of money. Everybody is getting the money in their hand more. But the purchasing power, the real money, is decreasing. That means the value of the money is decreasing. So it is actually good or bad? That remains under a big question mark. Okay, next is process of capital formation. 3 steps they have told. Creating of savings, we have already discussed. Mobilization of savings, that also we have discussed. We have to somewhere invest it. Idle cash, that is in golds, or we have to keep it in the bank in the form of savings. And then from bank they can, or any financial institution, and from there loans can be given out. Shares or bonds can also be bought. Okay, money kept in home will no way form the capital. Okay, we have to invest it somewhere or the else. Investment to mobilize savings. Just now I told you regarding the banks they are talking about here. Capital formation in India. The threat of capital formation in India is estimated by the the trend of capital formation in India is estimated by the Central Statistical Organization, that is CSO. The gross domestic investment or the gross domestic capital formation is composed of 2 parts. One is gross domestic savings and other is net capital flow from abroad. So, how do we do that? First is, while estimating gross domestic capital formation, the Reserve Bank of India divides our economy into 3 sectors: household sectors, the corporate sector, and the government sector. Okay, then this calculation is done. You can see it's given in a tabular form of table number 2. They have written the year, they have told about the gross domestic saving, net capital flow, this is from abroad, and then they are saying about the gross domestic capital formation of India. So, gross domestic savings minus net capital inflow, we will get gross domestic capital formation of India. Okay, so second column minus the third column will get the fourth column. So what are the features? Gradual increase during the plan period. We can find gradually that is increasing. Fluctuation in the gross domestic capital formation. And the last is inadequate to achieve the growth target. There are often we will find, like in the ninth 5-year plan or during the 10th 5-year plan, we found that India was not able to achieve the target which they were supposed to.